Good morning, School of Light. Just for those of you who are tuning in who don't know what School of Light is all about, it is a nonprofit Bible education platform that goes through the mail. So it's correspondence, it comes through the mail, it's doctrinally sound, and it's for ages 4 through adults. We have students as old as 89, last time I remember, and some that I've personally helped get involved as young as 7, and from what I understand, there's even like 4 and 5-year-olds that are taking some of these courses. So we are in the book of Judges, and we are in chapter 3 because we finished chapter 2 yesterday. Judges chapter 3. These are the nations the Lord left to test all those Israelites who did not experience any of the wars in Canaan. He did this only to teach warfare to the descendants of Israelites who had not had previous battle experience. The 5 rulers of the Philistines, all the Canaanites, the Sidonians, the Hivites living in the Lebanon mountains from Mount Baal Hermon to Lebo Hamath. They were left to test the Israelites to see whether they would obey the Lord's commands which he had given to their forefathers through Moses. The Israelites lived among the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivitites, Jebusites, and they took their daughters in marriage and gave their own daughters to their sons and served their gods. The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They forgot the Lord their God and served the Baals and the Asheros, and anger of the Lord burned against Israel, so he sold them into the hands of Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram of Naharaim, to whom the Israelites were subject for 8 years. But when they cried out to the Lord, he raised up for them a deliverer, Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, who saved them. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, so that he became Israel's judge, and went to war. The Lord gave Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram, into the hands of Othniel, who overpowered him. So the land had peace for 40 years, until Othniel, son of Kenaz, died. Once again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and because they did this, the Lord gave Eglon, king of Moab, power over Israel. Getting the Ammonites and the Amalekites to join him, Eglon came and attacked Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. The Israelites were subject to Eglon, king of Moab, for 18 years. Again, the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and he gave them a deliverer, Ehud, a left-handed man, the son of Gurah the Benjamite. The Israelites sent him with tribute to Eglon, king of Moab. Now Ehud had made a double-edged sword about 1.5 feet long, which he strapped to his right thigh under his clothing. He presented the tribute to Eglon, king of Moab, who was a very fat man. After Ehud had presented the tribute, he sent on their way the men who carried it. At the idols near Gilgal, he himself turned back and said, "I have a secret message for you, O king." The king said, "Quiet!" and all his attendants left him. Ehud then approached him while he was sitting along in the upper room of his summer palace and said, "I have a message from God for you." As the king rose from his seat, Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and plunged it into the king's belly. Even the handle sank in after the blade which came out of his back. Ehud did not pull the sword out, and the fat closed in around over it. Then Ehud went out of the porch. He shut the doors of the upper room behind him and locked them. After he had gone, the servant came and found the doors of the upper room locked. They said, "He must be relieving himself in the inner room of the house." They waited to the point of embarrassment, but when he did not open the doors of the room, they took a key and unlocked them. There they saw their lord fallen to the floor, dead. While they waited, Ehud got away. He passed by the idols and escaped to Seirah. When he arrived there, he blew a trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went down with him from the hills, and with him leading them. "Follow me," he ordered, "for the Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands." So they followed him down, and taking possession of the fords of the Jordan that led to Moab, they allowed no one to cross over. At that time they struck down about 10,000 Moabites, all vigorous and strong. Not a man escaped. That day Moab was made subject to Israel, and the land had peace for 80 years. Shamgar. After Ehud came Shamgar, son of Anath, who struck down 600 Philistines with an ox goad. He too saved Israel. That's chapter 3. How interesting. Everything that it talks about, the sword going down into his so deep into his fat that the fat closed in around it. Just some of these details. Othniel, I didn't realize that Othniel was the brother of Caleb, and was used as a judge. Caleb being Joshua, and Caleb, the two of the spies of the 12 that came back and had a good report, said we can take it. Well, Moses passes. Leadership goes to Joshua. Caleb's his right-hand man. So this guy must be quite a bit younger, I would imagine, Othniel. But it's interesting that the power of the Lord came upon him. Like Caleb. Caleb had that same faith, that same energy of spirit. So I just want to wish you all a good day. If you would like the Bible studies from School of Light Ministries, get in contact with me, 931-538-9643. And I'll contact our woman that works as she's the workhorse of the ministry. And she grades, she sends out mail, she receives mail. So once I contact her, all I need is your address and a name, and I'll send it to you. Thanks. Have a good day. God bless.